thinking about starting an accounting firm, here's what to expect. So when I got started in my business back in 2015, I did not understand what was important in this business model. So what that led to me doing was I would do things like make my logo, my website, blog posts. I spent like 3 months making this like pamphlet of different services I was going to be doing. And it led me to taking a very long time without actually getting clients. And I almost quit. I almost quit 2 times as a result of it, because it was just like, it just wasn't making sense to me to keep going, because it was like, I don't have any clients. What am I actually doing? I might as well just stay at my job and just get paid to do that and just go to sleep at night and just like not worry about my business, right? But it was because I was just doing a bunch of stuff that just didn't really move the needle forward. So I want to kind of make sure that you understand exactly what you should be doing. Also, if you've been watching any of our videos and you've heard about our mentorship program and you're like potentially thinking about like you wanting help to go and grow your business, rather than watching a bunch of these different videos, if you want like the most straight line path towards reaching your goal, click the link inside the description below the video to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program, okay? Jumping back into this thing. So, number 1, avoid all things branding and go straight to getting clients, okay? You don't need a website, you don't need a logo, just go to clients. Now, part of the problem is that a lot of people when they're starting a business, it comes from a place of like trying to prove to themselves they can do something. It's not really the intent to make money per se. It might start off with a thought process, I want to start a business so I can make more money, so I can have a better life, or so I can have this. But it quickly becomes distracted when you start getting in the game and you start comparing yourself to other people that are maybe 10 years in business, 20 years in business, and 30 years in business. And rather than you keeping your eye on the prize of, I want to go and get clients so I can make money, so I can change my life, it becomes, clients are not going to want to work with you unless I have this, unless I have this, unless I have this. And like maybe you spend your entire career in like corporate America, but then all of a sudden you want to go and get like QuickBooks certified. It's like, bro, you've been doing this in corporate America. You don't necessarily need to get QuickBooks certified. Like if you want to, yeah, but it's not going to make or break you. Or people where it's like, I have to go have a good logo. Like no one's going to want to work for me if I don't have a good logo. I was like, I don't even have a logo at this stage. Like me, I've done over $2.5 million in sales and cash collected inside of both my businesses since 2015. I barely have a website. Like I kind of have a website, but not really. And like, yeah, it's just a mess in terms of that. But it's not important. It's not needed. The only thing that matters is how many conversations with business owners that potentially can use my service can I have at any given time. If I can contact 20,000 people, and I can do that whenever I want to, I don't have to worry about money. Like I know that sounds kind of like, it sounds kind of overconfident, audacious, braggadocious, but it's not. It's a fact. It's literal fact. Literal fact. We have the statistics. We know exactly how many people we need. In order for you to really go, like for you to really go and make 6 figures, you only need 5 to 10 people per day to become friends with you on social media. So let's say like they friend request you on LinkedIn or on Facebook. If you can get to 5 to 10 people a day and just do it over the course of the year, you're gonna be making 6 figures. Now that's whether you're selling bookkeeping, whether you're selling tax planning, it does not matter. Accounting services, it's really gonna be based on like you selling something for at least $3,000 to $6,000. If you're selling monthly bookkeeping services, your minimum price should be $500 a month, and that's $6,000 per year. For your tax plans, I can be anywhere between like $3,000 and like $10,000, right? We're just gonna say on average, if your price is $5K, then it's a done deal. It's a done deal, right? So the key just becomes like, what is the most efficient way to go and reach that 5 to 10 people in a way that you can be sustainable with, a way you can be consistent with, in a way that matches your personality. So I'll give you an example. One way you could do it is by going to networking events. I didn't really like doing networking events. Like I've done a couple of networking events, but I don't really like it. Like I don't like going to a place where I don't know if people are gonna be like wanting to work with me, if there's another bookkeeper everyone already knows, and just like it's just annoying, right? And you just sit there and like you get to the end of the thing and it's like you just spend 2 hours talking to people, but no one really has a business that's over 100K, per year. It's just like annoying, right? So it's a lot of time wasted. So for me, networking just was not something that I could do on a long-term basis. However, having an automated tool that sends connection requests to people on LinkedIn, all I have to do is like come downstairs in the morning. I have a special computer that I bought just for sending out connection requests. I hit start, it sends out the connection request, it sends out the first message, I get a notification on my phone anytime someone replies to one of my messages, and I just text them back and forth the next word of my script. They get on the call, and I just book them in for an appointment, and then when I do the appointment, I generally close them between like 45 to like 75% of my calls. Sometimes it's a lot higher, sometimes like 75 to 80%, depending if that came from like a referral partner. But it's very simple, right? But that's because it took me a long time to understand like what I should be doing on a consistent basis to build that system that then goes and gets results, right? So that's number one. Okay, you don't need a logo, you don't need a website. You have a people problem. You don't have a trust problem. You don't have a information or legitimacy problem. If you've done accounting for any capacity in your job, you don't have a trust issue. You don't have a lack of experience. Now, if you've never worked accounting, I'd probably recommend you go watch my other YouTube channel. It's for like bookkeepers to go and start like their bookkeeping business if they have like no experience, right? This is where we train you how to go and do bookkeeping, and we help you kind of get some experience and get some stuff moving. But if you're in accounting, you don't necessarily need those things, okay? It's not about you. You don't have to prove your legitimacy. You are legitimate. Number two is that when you're starting your business, it's 70% sales, 30% administrative and service delivery. In the really beginning, it's probably more like 95-5. 95% sales and marketing, okay? Because you have to go and build those relationships. I cannot stress that enough. You can really tell how much money someone's going to make based on what are they spending their time focused on every single day. It's kind of similar to number one, where it's like if you're focused only on like a logo or what tools I need, or should I get a business bank account versus use my own bank account? Should I go and get a different payment processor? Should I learn Xero? Should I learn QuickBooks? Should I learn Sage? Like, none of that matters. None of it matters. None of it matters. Like, well, Bryce, how can I like get a client for QuickBooks? I don't know how to use QuickBooks. Sign up the client, tell them you're gonna get onboarded in like 1 week from the date of, go do every QuickBooks tutorial you can on the market, and then get started, right, with the client. I only learn things after I've gotten paid to learn them, if that makes sense. So, and I know that sounds so weird. Like my anytime I tell somebody that, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go make a new course. I'm gonna go do a new service. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, how are you gonna do that? Like, don't you have to go make it first? How'd you already sell the first copy? No, I'm going to make it once I've sold it, because then I can make it to order. I can make sure it's as relevant to the person as possible. That's why I don't recommend like most people do like spend time like making an amazing onboarding process. I've heard like a couple years ago, that was a big hot button topic. Like, everyone's like, my onboarding process is not automated. I'm like, my onboarding process is not automated. I have it simplified. It's not automated. It's like literally someone says that they want to get started with me. I literally send them a DocuSign. They sign it. I send them a payment link. They do it, and then we're good. Then we schedule an onboarding call like right then and there. It's very manual, but it takes me like 3 minutes. You don't need to have it automated if it's simple enough to send in 3 minutes. Like, I don't know. If someone's willing to pay you, let's say someone pays you 10 grand for a cleanup. Can you spend 5 minutes setting up the contract? Can you spend 5 minutes, please? Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of it's people's hearts are in the right spot, but the focus is slightly off. And that's what's gonna cause you to like really succeed versus like really fail. And like the problem is that failure in this business model does not happen because you run out of money, right? So like let's say you're like opening a McDonald's, right, where you have to invest $1 million up front. You need to go get a loan. You need to go get like the franchise license. You need to go and order equipment, supplies, and pay people before you're profitable. And not to mention the construction company if you have to build a building from scratch. That's a business model where you run out of money, right? You either like make it successful or you literally just don't have enough money to kind of fuel it. For accounting and bookkeeping, there's not really that many expenses. The real expense you should have is like probably like a coaching program. That's the real expense, like learning the sales skills that you weren't taught in school. That's number one, okay? But it's not like there's this constant drain on your cash that if you don't pay it, you're not gonna be able to run your business. Like if you have an office space as an accountant or bookkeeper and you're not selling tax, like if you don't sell tax, you don't need an office space. Like when I say tax, I mean tax prep. If you're selling tax planning, you don't even need an office, to be honest with you. Even for tax prep, you don't really need an office. It's just more of like, it doesn't hurt, but it's not necessary. It's really just a drain on your budget, right? But most people are going to quit. They're not going to fail, they're going to quit. because they don't get paid. It's very hard if your business, let's say your business is making like $2,000, $3,000 a month. It's very hard to quit a $3,000 per month producing business. Very hard. So again, it's all about, in the beginning, you have to get to the income first. Then you legitimize your business, then you improve your processes, then you go get your business bank account, then you go do everything properly, right? But in the beginning, it's about speed, because everyone overestimates their ability to stay in something that's not producing them money. Especially if you have like a significant other maybe is not used to a business. Like I was talking to this person on the phone. He was thinking about joining a mentorship program, but he just was not really in a good position, / he wasn't really a good fit at the moment in time. And he was saying like, yeah, I really want to get this thing started, but like every single day my wife always asks like, did I make any money? And then she won't let me invest in anything because then like, it's not a cash flow business. And she's expecting me to like start the business, then get a bunch of clients, and then be able to kind of grow, hit 10K per month without putting any effort in or any like time or any money into it. I'm like, oh dude, that's tough, man. So every single day you have this person like that's like, did you make any money today? Why are you not making money today? You're being lazy. I thought this business model was easy. What happened? Business is supposed to be. It's like, bro, like it's just, you're gonna quit because then eventually what's gonna happen is you're gonna be like, why are you still doing this? Come watch a movie with us. Same thing with spouse. It's not just like like wives or girlfriends. Husbands and boyfriends do the same exact thing. Like, why are you always working on the business? You don't care about me. What's wrong? Come to bed. Like, you're not spending enough time with the kids anymore. It's just like stupid stuff, you know what I mean? It's like you have to go to the money as quick as possible, because when someone comes at you, or a parent-in-law is like, hey, you should stay at your job, businesses are risky, you're like, hey, I'm making $3,000 a month. And like, okay. And maybe it is kind of risky, but I mean, since you're making money, you might as well just see it out till it goes. And remember, like, business is risky, but like, as long as you have your job, you're good. No one can tell you no when you're already making significant money. When you're making a full, like, I'm not saying it's going to match your income. When you're making what some people make as a full-time income, it's good. You're done. You're done. You can do this thing forever, right? But that's the biggest thing. Next thing is going to be social media marketing for beginners is not about posting. It's about relationships. Now, what do I mean by that? So, a lot of people, like, they think, like, oh, I have to spend, like, 2 to 3 hours on Canva every day making, like, a graphic. I have to figure out, like, what should I be saying? How should I be coloring it? And just, like, painting. And, again, that kind of goes back. I kind of consider that similar to the website. Even though you are kind of going out to people, it's not a communication between you and a potential client, because you don't know who's seeing it, you don't know if it's relevant, and you don't even know if the person's actually viewing it. It could show up on their computer screen while they're tying their shoe and they don't even see it. But Facebook will say, oh, this person saw it. And that's not always the case, right? So by having this communication of what's going on, what are the problems, what are the pains, what are their concerns, and then being able to come up with a solution with them that you then book on a consultation call and speak and give a pricing for, that is the thing that's actually going to move the needle forward, not posting, right? Because it's all about the relationship. Again, it's all about who knows you, how deeply they know you, and how much they respect you. You get that down, you will not have any problem making money online or in accounting in general, right? Now, a good example is one of my students named JT. So JT, when he was first getting started, it took him about, I think, like 3 or 4 months, but when he got to like month number 4, he had 330 friends on Facebook. Some of you might be saying it's a lot. To put that in perspective, that's nothing. That's like 10 people a day for like 30 days. That's nothing. That's nothing. He was at $12,119 per month, not counting a cleanup he got in that same month. That was just from monthly recurring clients off of 330 Facebook friends. I think he started with like 150 that were like friends and family and people he went to like college with. That is amazing. This goal and stuff is not that far away from you, but to put in perspective, that's because he wasn't our mentorship program. We did talk about who are the right people from scratch. Don't just think, oh, Bryce, it's so easy. I'm just going to friend request 200 people and I'm going to have like, $12,000 a month. No, there was a very structured system, plan, and sales process behind that. Like, I don't want you to kind of misinterpret that and then think Bryce is guaranteeing me that if I get 300 people at a friend request after watching like a 20-minute YouTube video, I'm going to be at $12K per month. I'm not saying that you will do that, okay? I don't want you to be mad at me because you're like, Bryce told me. I didn't say that. He did that. A very specific case, an example. That's why people do our mentorship program, because we help you like actually go and like make things work. That's the point. But It doesn't take that long if you know what you're doing. It doesn't take that much work if you know what you're doing. It doesn't take that much effort if you know what you're doing. And once you do, no one can ever take that skill set away from you. So in the beginning, it's like, those are the biggest things to be aware of. It's like, don't worry about branding, go straight to the market. When I say go straight to market, 90% of like your stuff in the beginning is going to be about sales and marketing. 10% is about admin and actually like, you know, making your business look official. Because again, it's not about being official. It's about being effective and talking to people. Okay. And then thirdly, social media for beginners is not about posting. I do not want to see you making YouTube videos. I do not want to see you posting on Facebook and making videos or writing these long blog posts. When you're starting out, when you have 500 to 1,000 friends that all own a business, okay, then you can start posting and it makes sense. But up until that point, you just don't know enough people for it to be effective for you, okay? So hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully this opens your eyes. And if you want some help growing your business, but maybe things either just are not going the way that you planned, or if you're thinking about starting your business and you're just like, I want to know the roadmap from the start and make sure I avoid mistakes, either way, click the link inside the description below the video to book a call with myself. Let's see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program. Our mentorship program is designed to kind of take you from where you are towards whatever your financial goals are. Now, in some cases, financial goals are not just about money. Sometimes it's a place in life you want to be. Maybe you want to work for 10 hours a week and still make $8,000 a month so you can spend, you know, the majority of your time with your children, or homeschool your children, or go on vacations with your family. Either way, let's design this lifestyle together on our call. And we're going to say, these are the steps we need to take in order to go and achieve it. And then this is what it's going to look like to work together to accomplish those goals in our mentorship program. Okay? So if that's you, I'd love to see you on the call. If you're not quite ready for a call, that's okay too. Keep watching more of our videos and I'll see you eventually. Okay? Have a good day. Take it easy. Talk to you soon.